Hello and welcome. My name is Ishi, and today we'll be talking about shapes and forms. Shapes, as we all know them, are pretty straightforward, and we've all learned it, of course, when we were little. Shapes like, circle, right? Square, and triangle, right? That's pretty easy, straightforward, and you obviously have other shapes like oval and rectangle, right? But what are forms? Forms, well, in a simple sense, forms are the visual appearance, or for example, things like the form of a person, or a form of an animal, or a sofa, or a TV, or a house, even. So, when we turn these shapes into forms, instead of it looking just flat like this, the circle would turn into a ball, right? If you can imagine, this is a ball, or an apple even, right? Now it's not a normal circle. Now there's a form to it. And if we turn the square into a form, it turns into kind of like a box, like this, right? And finally, if we turn this triangle into a form, we get a pyramid, like this. See? So this is what forms mean. Forms mean we give a shape a visual appearance. Now, if I told you that this circle was a plate, you might say, sure, it looks like a plate, or it could be a ball, or a moon, or a sun. It could be anything, right? Because it's just a flat circle. But when we give it a form, like here, now you can obviously, definitely tell it's an apple or some kind of fruit. Same thing with the square. Right here, you might assume that maybe it's a TV or a box or a Rubik's Cube even. But when you give it a form, you can now tell, oh, it's most likely a box. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And when you look at things around you right now, whether you're sitting on a table or chair or in your room, if you look around you, you can pretty much see a lot of forms around you. And what's really cool is that you can actually mix different kinds of forms together to get a different kind of form. For example, if we have a triangle like this, right, and we give it a form, so now it looks like this, and we have a square, then we give it a form, right? We put these two together. If we put these two together, you obviously get a house, right? The house has a roof and a room down here. See? And of course, if you put a triangle here, a rectangle here, is a door, and you put a circle, it's a window, maybe 2 squares, 3 maybe, right? You get a house. Easy. Or, for example, another mix we can do is we get a rectangle, we give this a form, right? If we give it a form, it will look something like this. You can turn it into like something like that. Has this shape, form, right? We give 2 circles, maybe a small rectangle here, and we have a radio. Isn't that cool? So there's a lot of things you could do with forms. Now that we know what shapes and forms are, how do we use them in art? How do we apply them in our drawings? And more importantly, how do we see the world around us through that perspective? Well, in this video I have 3 pictures that we're gonna practice on. We have a monkey, a frog, and a chameleon. So starting off with the monkey, I'm gonna drop the opacity a little bit for the monkey. Make another layer, and you can follow along if you want. It's good practice. You can do this with anything, a magazine, a picture, a comic book, or anything. You have a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try and see the shapes in this picture. So first we have a circle, right? A circle for the head. You have the ears right here, right? We have an oval body right here. Right, this is his body, it's oval. We have the leg, also oval. And we have the hands. Right here. Let's not forget the tail. And the tree trunk. We also have a circle here for the mouth, nozzle. Zoom in here. We have the eyes. Right? Small eyes. Eyebrow and the hair here. Let's not forget the nose. Lastly, the mouth. And then when we bring this one down, we have a monkey. What do you know? Pretty close, huh? I just realized I forgot the eyeballs. There we go. And this just shows you how easy it is to draw when you just look at a picture or look at anything in its basic shapes and forms, you know? All I did was I saw a circle, an oval, another oval, put them together, boom, you have yourself a monkey. So yeah. Now, let's move on to the next one. Same as before, drop the opacity down, another layer. If you're using a pencil, and it's hard to, I know it's kind of hard to erase a lot of times, and the paper gets all wrinkly and dirty and messy. If you're using a pencil, I recommend pressing lightly so that you don't press too hard like this, so that when you erase it, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't leave a mark. If you press lightly, like soft, it actually becomes easy to erase it. And that's what I recommend doing. So, for example, I'm gonna press lightly with the pencil, sorry. I'm imagining I have a pencil. I'm pressing just lightly. The pencil. We have an oval right here for the head. We have another oval right here for the body. And when you're drawing, and if you're like me, making all these lines right here and these weird lines that's overlapping and they're kind of off, that's okay. In art, it's okay to make a lot of mistakes and a lot of errors and get things wrong. That's alright. You know? With practice, you actually get really good at it. And sometimes you have to make mistakes in order to get better at it, in order to learn. Just like that, we have our frog. So look at that. All that's left is to color him in. On to the next one. We have a chameleon. And this chameleon has an odd shape. Right at the beginning, you can already see he actually has triangle for a head right here, almost like a Dorito right here, like a triangle, right? As a circle for an eye right here, and he has a taco for a body. Imagine that looks like a taco. And of course, his tail. Right here. And there we go. We have our chameleon. Simple as that. And that's our three drawings that we did so far. Looks pretty great. Well, I hope you found this helpful and entertaining, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.